Hello friends, welcome to EduTap. So in the topper interview session, today we have Mr. Yash Anand, who has secured rank 49 in recently released EPFO EO examination result. So I congratulate you Yash on the behalf of team EduTap, and also welcome to our YouTube session as well as to EduTap.
Thank you,
So
sir.
Yash, first of all, please let us know the brief background about you.
Yes, sir. So, as you have already told my name, I belong from Samastipur, Bihar. I did my initial schooling from hometown itself, from DI Public School. And then for the preparation part, I went to Kota, and then I gave the JEE examination, and I got into National Institute of Technology, Srinagar. I did my engineering in electrical from 2012 to 2016, and I joined Sterlite Tech as a process engineer. And after 2 years of work there, I resigned from my job and started preparing for the civil services. And this year only, I have joined State Bank of India as a probationary officer. And now I have cleared the examination of EPFO.
So Yash, how are you feeling now? Finally, after in the I can say in the 4 years of preparation strategy, finally you got something where you
Yes,
can proceed further. So how are you feeling right now?
yes. Feeling is very good. And all my parents and my siblings, my relatives, they are very supportive and they are congratulating me for the success. But I think that the road has not ended. It has just started now, as the road is way ahead for us.
So you will prepare for civils, right? You will
Yes,
continue
sir.
your preparation strategy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's
Okay. So Yash, if I talk about three things that helped you to achieve this milestone, so what are those three things?
uh, so if we can talk about three things. The first
Yeah.
thing you always need if you are preparing for this type of examination is the support from your family, be it from the parents, your brothers, sisters, and your friends. Very important, your friends who are in your peer groups, because in many times you feel demotivated and think that, oh, nothing is happening for me. Even the prelims is not getting clear, and you need some support from your home, from your family, and from your friends so that you can tide over those tough times. And the second is perseverance, I think, because each and every day we have to learn new things and we have to revise those things again and again. As it's said in the civils that you have to revise, for example, the Lakshmikant book of polity 13 to 14 times. So it becomes very tidy, I think, that we become demotivated that we have to read again and again. It becomes that thing that you have to repeat all those things. But this is the journey and you have to take those steps. So second thing about the perseverance, you have to let it sink in. And the third one, I think, is the gratitude you should have, because gratitude is very important. That I know that people are not always privileged that who can leave their job and they can prepare for the service examination, because they have to support their family, they have to support all the different things in their life. But I think that I was fortunate and privileged enough that not much responsibility was on my shoulders to support my family at the time, and I was free to do my preparation and living the job. So these three things, I think, build the pillars for me.
Okay, so Yash, if I talk about this exam specifically, so what do you think, how much overall time you think is sufficient to prepare for this examination? Since this examination is not a regular examination,
Yes.
so what do you think, how much time is enough or sufficient to prepare for this examination?
Okay, sir. So if we talk about the EPFO EUAO examination, I think the syllabus is, if you will see the syllabus, you will think that there are so many different things. There is accounts, there is labor laws, there is English, there is maths, there is computer also. There is current affairs in which history is there, the polity section is also there. So you will think economics is also there. So you will think the syllabus is very vast. But the thing is, in this examination, the uh, concepts they are testing is not very deep inside. They are testing most of the concepts which are surface based. They are not delving into the topics like the civils examination. So the thing is, you have to, if you are a civils aspirant, so definitely you will have an edge over the others. But others are also not left behind, as the syllabus is not getting delving too much into the topics. So just by reading the basic topics and covering the whole syllabus, you can definitely be in the race. So I think 5 to 6 months of basic preparation can help you clear the examination.
And since also you are a civil services aspirant, so most of the subjects, I can say that in for this examination it is around 10 to 11 subjects are there, right? And since you are
Yes.
you are a civil services aspirant, so you have already prepared 6 to 7 subjects. So rest of the
Yes.
only two or three subjects you need to prepare for this examination if you have a civils background, or I can say the civils preparation experience, right?
Yes, sir. Truly
Okay,
right.
okay, great. So as you told us, yes, that you have resigned from the job in 2018 and you have been preparing since then for this examination. So what is the mindset? Because you have not cleared the UPSC civil services for which you have left your job. So what is the mindset, and how did you decide that I am going to appear for this examination?
Yes, sir. So the first of all, right after leaving the job in 2018, I joined a coaching institute in Delhi, and I did the preparation for 3 years. And I missed the prelims by a very narrow whisper in 2019. But again, the same thing happened in 2019 and 2020. So I don't know. So maybe some shortcomings would have been by my side. So, but the thing which I told to myself that succeeding, you should let that you should not do the same mistakes again. That's the most important thing. And I think your friends can help a lot in that. So those friends which who are preparing with you. So I should mention that I was fortunate enough that many friends were from the circle, and one of my friends was also from the same company which I have left, and he had come to prepare for the same examination. So, Ankit was there, who has recently cleared the Forest Service examination also. Sashank was there, Shashwat was there. Then one of my dear friend, uh, uh, Prashant was there. Then Sudhanshu was there. So they all gave a moral support, I think, and they also discussed the strategies which we should. So I was not able to crack the UPSC examination, but I think that definitely help in getting me through this examination. And in future, I think that I can get through the syllabus if I follow the same strategy.
Okay. So, Yash, if I talk about this examination specifically, so what are the sources that you have adopted for preparation of this examination?
Yes, sir. So regarding, as I was already preparing for the civils, so civils material was there for me. But the thing which are not there in the civils, for example, the labor laws, the accounts. So these were the topics which I did from EduTap only. Both the lectures and also the video lectures and the PDF. Both I did, and I did not buy a paid course, but all the materials were freely available on the Telegram channel and also on the YouTube, and I did from that. And then EduTap also helped me regarding the mock interview session, as the forthcomings or the shortcomings which I was having, they helped me identify this and work on them. So,
Yeah, we'll come on that point of the interview. But yeah, right now the sources you are saying that since you have been preparing for civil services, so most of the subjects you have already prepared, except 2 3 topics like
yes,
industrial relations and labor law, social security, or general
labor,
accounting principles. So
labor
for
laws.
that you have
Yes.
adopted the you have had the material of our EduTap, right? So did you find these materials useful for your
Yes.
examination?
I think very useful. As if first of all, I thought that I should read from the NCRT, the basics 11th, 12th class. But when I searched the book, I think it was too bulky and too heavy, and I could not complete that syllabus in such a short span of time. As the civils was also very near in the next month only, I think in the October month. There, and but not something that I could not handle in such a short span of time. And EduTel helped me in this, as the notes are very concise in that matter, and they were to the point. And the questions also, they also contain the questions which were asked in the previous examination. So that helped me in getting a breakthrough that how to apply the strategies which I have learned from the previous examination. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think some network issues was there.
Network issue. Yes.
Yeah. So, Yash, what was your daily plan for preparing for this examination? Since you know that this exam had the cycle of around 2 years, right? Notification was
Yes,
notification was announced in 2020, and finally result came in 2022. So,
yes.
during this time, how did you prepare, as you are already preparing for, as you have already been preparing for civil services? So, how did you manage the balance between both the examination?
Uh, the thing is, I focused mainly on the civils preparation and the topics which were different from those only I was preparing those side. For example, the current affairs I was already doing from a booklet of a renowned test series. So I did not focus exclusively on the EPFO examination for that, as I was doing that, and it definitely helped both in the EPFO examination and also in the civils. But only for the part of social security, labor laws, industrial relations, and the accountancy part, I kept on revising for around, we can say, not more than an hour a day for the examination time. For example, I think 1 month in the last 1 to 2 months, and in the last 7 to 10 days, I completely devoted myself for the EPFO examination, and I devoted around 8 to 10 hours for those time period. Because in the last, you have to remember, you have to revise, and revision is the key for this, as the topics are too much, and you have to remember those things.
Okay. So, if I talk about sources of current affairs, so what were your sources for the current affairs?
So current affairs, I think I did not do from the EduTap, but these are from the UPSC background only. So for example, the Vision IS, we can say, which provides material for the civil services. But one point of caution I would like to say, that the material which we are going to read for the UPSC civils, I think that's not aptly suited for this examination, as they test a very logical understanding of the question, for example, in the civils. But here the question will not delve too much into the topic. And as I have already said, they are very surfacey. So you have to remember the not the minute details of that, but the broad details of those things. So I would say that the material which is being provided by the EduTap in short and concise form is the better way to go forward. But at that time, I did not go for that. But I think that that will be the best way forward for that.
And if I talk about the standard books for different components mentioned in the syllabus of this examination, so what were the different books which you have gone through for different components for preparing different
Yes,
components?
yes, sir. For quality, sir, Lakshmikant is the book, so everyone refers to the Lakshmikant. And for the NCRT part, definitely NCRT is there. But what happens is that if you want to prepare only for the EPFO examination, then NCRT will become too much for you. So for that, I think concise notes which are available, and Bipin Chandra Modern Independence, the book can definitely help you in that. And for the economy part, I think Ramesh sir book is good. For the current affairs, I think EduTap team is already providing. For the labor laws also they are providing. And regarding the English and the maths part, I did not do anything different for that, as I come from engineering background. I already had my aptitude sorted for that, and the CSAT examination is also there in the civils. So it was not a hurdle for me. Sir.
Okay, so if I talk about the revision, so revision is a very tedious task. If I say that, because
Yes,
if you are going to prepare for 10 to 11 different components, so revision
definitely.
is the key. As
Revision
this
is the
we
key.
all know, but how did you manage the revision at the last moment before your recruitment test?
Yes, sir. Sir, for the revision, I think I did the most revision of accounts and the labor laws. For this, I made the notes from the topics from the video lectures. And then I also added the points from the PDF which the team had provided. And I gone through, I think, minimum 5 to 6 times I gone through that, as different provisions are there, the years are there, and the questions were definitely on that. For example, the Payment of Gratuity Act. So how it has been revised, in which year it has been revised. So you have to go through those numbers again and again. And also for the accounting concepts, for example, the basic accounting parts, also you can make a note on that. And I think one pager will be definitely helpful, in which you can divide the sections and you can divide the pages into 3 parts. And in very minute handwriting, you can write all the concepts and the formulas. And on one side, you can write the concepts. On one side, you can write the formulas. And on the third side, you can write your own conclusion or what you want to infer from that. So that will go a way forward in revision parts.
So did you make any short notes for the revision purpose?
Yes, sir. I did make the soft notes for the reason
For
paper.
all the subjects or for some specific subjects only?
Not for all the subjects, but as I already had for the history part or the polity part, I made also for the economy part, as my optional is economics only in UPSC Civil. So I think that it went through smoothly. So for the labor laws, for the social security schemes, and for the accountancy part, I made the notes.
And yes, if I talk about role of MCQs, role of test series, we all know that test series play a very crucial role, right?
Very
So did
crucial.
you have any test series for this examination specifically?
Sir, they play a very important role, but I had not did any especially for EPFO examination, but I did for the UPSC civils, and I think they probably help in giving me an edge. Sir.
Okay. So yes, if I talk about the most difficult component out of these 10 to 11 component, what was the most difficult component for you and how did you manage that?
Yes, sir. So definitely the accounts part was very fearful for me, as I had never read, being from an engineering background, I had never learned the commerce part in my whole life. So when the topics came for the debit side, the credit side, first of all, in the 2 to 3 years, I could not comprehend that what those things were, what to add, what to subtract. But finally, I got a hang on, and I think that helped. But if we'll try to analyze the different other things, for example, the history and the polity. So definitely, if we try for the what we say that mock test, that they will be really helpful for that.
So since now you have secured rank 49 in this examination, right? But
Yes,
what if you had not made it? So
yes.
what was the plan B?
That would that would be a tough question. As I'm currently at SBI, sir, in Guwahati, I would have probably continued on my job, and had also tried to prepare for the civils. The time I would not have got much, but even then I would have tried, and I would have given my best for the civils, as it's the ultimate goal for me.
So yes, let's talk about interview.
Yes,
So
sir.
what were the areas which were asked in your interview, like HR, current affairs, EPFO as an organization? So what were the areas from where questions were asked?
Yes, sir. As I entered the hall, so they definitely asked that what you are presently doing. The thing is, I joined the SPIA on 18th April. So, and the DAF year filled before in the month of November and December. So, I had not mentioned about that job. So, they asked me, but you should be the first thing which you should do in the interview, be truthful. As they have interviewed lakhs of candidates, you cannot bluff or you cannot do anything silly in front of those people. So always be truthworthy in those circumstances. They asked me that where you're working currently. I said I'm currently working, and they said that it's not written in the DAP. I said no, I have joined only 3 months back. And then they asked me that why you want to leave that organization. You can become the chairman, you can become the MD of that bank. So, but they did not let me give the reason that why I want to leave that organization like that. So then again, they asked about the technical details of the banking. That is SBI an nationalized company. So what are the scheduled payments bank? What are the criteria for the scheduled? Sorry, not the scheduled payments bank, scheduled commercial banks. What are payments bank? What is the criteria for scheduled commercial bank? What is paid up capital? What is equity capital? So very delving into the nitty and gritties of the banking, as I was operating in that sector. So then they asked what are the changes, what are the restructuring which has been done in the public sector banks, how many public sector banks are there, about their mergers. And then again, they asked me about my previous job, which I did from 2016 to 18. And they asked the financial data of the company, that what is the net profit, what is the equity price, what is the total operating margin, what is the gross profits, what is the net profits for that. So most of the things I could give the answer, as I had revised them. And then again, they asked about the polity section. What are the fundamental rights, and which is the heart and soul of the Constitution regarding the Article 32? And also, what are the fundamental duties, where it has been borrowed from, what is the concept behind it, and who was the main architect of that, and who idea was it to add those in the Constitution, and all those questions. But not anything particular about the EPFO. They surely did ask about the labor laws, the social security schemes which has been given by the government after the year 2014, about e-Shram portal, about the cards which has been given to the migrant workers, about also the moratorium period which was given, or also the EPF withdrawal which are provision in the COVID time. So wholesome, they asked about most of the topics which could be asked, but they did not ask anything particular about the EPF.
Means questions were there from your HR side, from current affairs side, from I can say
Yes,
the static portion also, the polity
yes,
one which you told me, but no question was asked from EPFO, right?
EPF. Yes.
Okay. So how many members were there in your panel, in your
Uh,
interview panel?
Four members were there in my panel.
All were all were physically available?
Yes, yes, all were physically available. And
Okay.
I am forgetting the name of the ma'am, but one IS ma'am, I forgetting the name. She was the chairperson of the board. She did not ask any questions in particular. She was just observing that how we are giving the answers, how I'm giving the answers.
So was the interview panel cordial or they were harsh on you?
They were very cordial, and as I have learned from many other interviews, I think I have heard that almost all the panels were very cordial. They would support you in every time you, even if you make a mistake, they will guide you, and they will say that if you want to do anything, so definitely you can go in the right way. They will even if you, they will give you a hint that if you are missing a point on something, they will, and they are always very cordial. So four panels were there, and all were very all were very cordial. Yes.
So if I talk about duration of your interview, so what was the total duration of your interview?
I think my interview went on for around 25 minutes, maybe more than 25, 1 to 2 minutes, but but it was less than 30 minutes. I set my clock and it was around 25 to 27 minutes at least.
So most of the aspirants have doubt in their mind that if they do not know anything, whether they should say no or they should try to guess that particular topic, that particular question which is being asked from them. So what should be the best strategy in this situation, according to you?
Yes. Yes. So, as per my observation, I think that if you do not know the answer, there's no, I think, no points or no negative in saying no or sorry. I do not know this question. I will definitely read about this later. But if you want to take an educated guess, so definitely you should take permission from them. You should not be telling the facts beforehand and then saying that I am guessing it or I have guessed it. You should take a permission that I do not know this particular fact. So can I take a guess? And they will definitely allow you to take a guess. And even if you do not know and you do not want to bluff it, the main thing is that you should not bluff, and you should always tell if you because they are very experienced, they know that if you are bluffing or not. So there's no harm in saying no and saying sorry. It already showed that you are capable enough, or you are very not capable enough, but you are very uh, I think I'm not getting the right word, that you are very in this way that you can accept your own mistakes and you can say that I do not know. That it's very important thing to say that I do not know, as no one can know everything. And it's a very good gesture if you say that, sorry, I do not know, or I cannot take a guess. I'm completely unaware of this.
So okay, yes. So if I talk about the mock interview, so did you attend any mock interview, and what is the importance of mock interview for any examination?
I think so. Mocks are very essential for any examination, as we, even if you tend to try to speak to a mirror, as they say that try speaking your, enhancing your skills by placing in front of a mirror. So you can definitely do that, but what are the points you are lacking? So how you are communicating? What is your body language? So it can definitely be said when you attend a mock interview. And I, fortunately enough, I had a mock interview with EduTap team, and I think that was way beneficial for me. Even if it was before the examination, I think 4 to 5 months back, as it was in the month of January, and exam got delayed after that. But the points which they mentioned, I had kept it in my notebook, and I saw it, and I think that helped me in the interview.
So how did you find EduTap's interview program useful in your actual interview?
I think it was very useful, as the questions were regarding that my job background, and also regarding the labor law. The questions were the quality part, and actually in the mock interview, same type of questions were asked. As I was not at that time in SPI, the questions were asked from my previous job, and also from the questions were asked from the quality part. And the quality part questions were asked, and again the labor laws questions were asked in that. And one point was that hobbies was asked in the mock interview, but they did not ask. But it depends upon person to person. They ask hobbies to one person, they do not ask that. It's not a thumb rule that they will definitely ask, but you should definitely prepare for that.
So yes, since you have secured rank 49 in this examination, so do you have any future targets like UPSC civil services or EPFO, APFC examination? So do you have any future targets, or you are satisfied with this?
I cannot say that I'm satisfied. Definitely, I'm not satisfied. But I think that being content is also a thing. But you should never uh, lose yourself, your focus, and you should always try to do things which challenge you. I think, and I think the civils is the one thing which challenges. Also, the APFC examination which is coming. I think the notification is due in 1 to 2 months. So I think that I will try to fill those forms, and I will definitely take the guidance of the EduTap team for that.
Means you are not going to stop here, right?
Uh, Definitely, I think no one should stop. You should be content that yes, I have got this, but I think that stagnation is the worst thing which you can do. Yes, it's not that you have to every time boggle down your mind. Though I have not done this, but yes, you should always try to strive for the best.
So if I ask one thing or a message which you would like to give to the future aspirants, so what that will be?
Yes, sir. The main message, I don't think that I am that who can give such messages. But the main thing which many people have already said, that if you are trying for these examinations, the government jobs, and particularly the civils, the EPFO examination, all the exams being conducted by the UPSC, so you should, the perseverance is the key for that. You should grind in day in and day out. You have to revise those topics again and again, even if it was repetitive, because labor is the thing you have to do. There's a thing called smart work, but in smart work also the word work is hidden. So work should be there. So that's the thing that you have to continue, and you have to hold it together once and for all. Yes.
So those aspirants who are preparing for any examination, this is not about is this particular examination only.
Yes, sir.
Those who are preparing for any examination,
any
you
examination.
can learn from the journey of Mr. Yash, who have been preparing for UPSC civil services examination since 2018, and meanwhile he went to appear for this examination, and finally he got succeeded. But it's not I cannot say that it's a very easy journey, because this exam has had itself a 2-year cycle due to COVID or due to some any other reason. But the thing is that you should be consistent, you should be dedicated, and you should be focused, right? So these all things, the combination of all these things will definitely make you successful, right? So thank you very much, Yash, for sharing your insights to with our future aspirants, and that will definitely help them to get success in any examination. So thank you very much for giving your precious time to EduTap, for sharing your strategy.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to have this session with you, sir. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
Team
Yash.
EduTap, and thank you to you, sir.
Thank you, Yash. You are welcome.